Everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing the third block of business communication, that is our MMPC 007. And this module talks mainly about the written communication that we do at work. So the first module was an overall general introduction, right? The first block. The second block dealt mostly with the kind of oral communication and the group communication that play out in a business setting. And the third block is talking about the written communication at work. Okay, so let's get started. When it is professional, take everything written. Okay, this is something, if you have not been into a professional setup, take my word for it, because I literally have had experiences where I actually learned it the hard way, and thankfully I have overcome all those. But make sure that in a professional setting, no matter what, no matter how much you are accustomed to that person, they may be your friends even, but when it comes to work, take everything in written. This is the golden rule of communication in an office setup. If it is not written, then don't take it seriously, I would say. So let us come to our topic, written communication. What is written communication? Written communication is communicating through written words, right? Books, letters, notices, brochures, magazines, all these things talk to us. They all communicate with us through the words that are printed on them, written in them, right? So why do we need this written communication? We need it to think, experience, create, learn, right? And what happens, or what are the features of written communication? First and foremost, if it is a written communication, we go through extensive reading, right? And there is constant writing involved. Vocabulary is very much important. The person who's writing and the person who's reading both should have good vocabulary. And the target audience is important, right? Who are we writing to? If we are writing to a kid, if we are writing a kids magazine, or if we are preparing a textbook for kids, we write it in a certain way. But if it is a more intellectual audience, or if it is for a shareholder, we write it in a different way. If it is to our friends, we write in a different way, right? That is the whole concept we have all studied, right? Formal and informal letters, correct? So the target audience matters, and based on the target audience or the purpose of writing, that is, what are we writing this for, what is the agenda, based on all these things, the kind of writing that we do, it differs. And most importantly, just like in oral communication also this happens, we need to have a thorough understanding of the subject. So how do we write? What is the process of writing? First and foremost, we need to understand who our readers are, right? We need to create their profile. Who is it for? Am I writing it for a pre-KG kid? Am I writing a kid's storybook, or am I writing a novel? Am I writing it for auditors? Am I writing it for the government? Am I writing it for the public? Am I going to publish this in a newspaper? What is it? Who is it for? That is very important. We need to first and foremost, before start writing, create a reader's profile, right? That is what is meant by understand your reader. Who are you writing to? Who is it? Who is it for? Then finding the purpose. What is your intent? Are you writing it to, what you can say, impart some knowledge? Are you writing it to state facts? Are you writing it to get some knowledge? Right? Are you asking a question? Are you complaining? What is it? What is your intent? What is the purpose of this writing? So I will write it as intent. Then just start writing. Just write. Without writing, you can do all kind of mind mapping, brainstorming, everything in your head. But the thing is, until and unless you put the pen to your paper and start writing, just start writing, it's not gonna happen, right? Written communication is not gonna happen. So you just start writing, and as you write, you develop ideas. No matter how much you have researched, as you write, you get more and more ideas. As the pen touches the paper and you start scribbling out words, your brain automatically starts doing the research inside, and it starts developing those ideas. So develop ideas, do our research, go on the internet, find credible sources, or go to the library, talk to your friends, your teachers, or people who have a prior experience or knowledge about such things. Organize whatever you have learned, label your research. Everything is important. That is the research part of it, developing the ideas. And it's always good to make a plan, mind mapping, asking questions, overall, right? Like what you can say, create an outline, create a blueprint. and structure it, like give it an introduction, a body, a conclusion, right? Summary, whatever it is. So give your, maybe there's a preface, maybe there's a glossary, I don't know. So structure it depending upon what you're gonna write or who are you gonna write to. Structure whatever it is and put it on paper again. How to write? You may start with free writing, then concentrate and make writing a habit. Actually, the more you write, the more you get comfortable in writing, and writing comes more naturally. Take time. Okay, maybe like take 5 minutes every day and just write anything. Anything is fine as long as you don't you write, you get accustomed to it. Talk to people, uh, get their ideas, get their feedbacks. You might have heard, especially like if there is a hit movie and you go online and get the reviews, you might see a lot of interviews of the cast and crew members, maybe the writers, directors. The interviewers would be asking questions like, how did you come up with the story? And almost all the time you will hear them saying that, see, I got this idea, I put it into paper, I started doing research about it, I talked to people, I gathered their reactions, and then I rewrote it or I made changes onto the script, right? So, this is the natural process of writing. This is what everyone does. This is what a writer, any writer, would go through. Even seasoned writers go through the same process. Starting people also will have to go through this process. So, this is the path. Okay. Then comes reworking the draft, like revising it. Multiple revisions would be necessary. You might even have to change the entire thing if required. So before you start reworking or rewriting the draft, it is always best to just leave it. Once you have written everything down, once whatever had come to your mind, you've just jotted it down on the paper. After that, it is always good idea to just distance yourself. Just take a break, do something else, and after a while you have totally refreshed, come back and then read it and then rewrite it or rework on it. You would do a better job at cleaning up your draft than if you were to sit at it at a stretch. So these are not just things that I've come across in my experience, but these are the things that I've picked up even from multiple people while listening to authors online, TED Talks, all these things. So these are the things that I myself did pick up from other prominent writers and have tried including when I write something. And these have these kind of things. This process of writing, actually, whatever is outlined over here, is actually a good way and has helped me also a lot. um, Definitely feedback, integrating feedback is very much necessary. You need to know how to collaborate with others and get their feedback, get their thoughts, and use those to better your work. Polishing the draft, that is editing and proofreading. Edit for clarity, proofread for error correction, identify the errors in the text. There might be grammatical errors, there might be spelling mistakes, there might be conceptual errors even. So all those things you have to polish the draft. So editing is nothing but this process of selecting and preparing either be a visual or audible or written material to convey that message properly without a lot of junk inside it. And always and always, constructive feedback can do wonders to your draft. It will improve your reading experience also and make you more confident about your writing. Okay, so that is the process of writing. The next important topic is business correspondence. So what is business correspondence? Being in a business or being in a professional setup, we receive letters day to day, every day. Okay, and a correspondence could be between organizations or inside an organization. It could be like a letter to a supplier or a complaint letter, letter of inquiry, a job application, or something of those. Many different types of business correspondences. A few of them we'll come across later on. Okay, so the thing is, this business correspondence, when we talk about business correspondence, we generally, not just generally, we are talking about information that is in a written format. And for the process of business activities, a formal written communication is what we call business correspondence. Okay, formal and written, these are the two keywords that you should keep in mind when you talk about business correspondence. So as such, what happens is that an oral communication or just face to face communicating cannot be termed as a business correspondence. And this is why the very first sentence I told you while we were starting the video, right? If it is in a business setup, make sure everything is in written, and because the written or the printed word is what matters. Just because your supervisor told you to do just going on his word. If you do something, any moment that person could, based on the situations, go back on their word, and what you did would remain, but what they said will not be there, because most often what happens is that you would be the only person there to have heard it. Okay, so I'm sure if anybody who has already been in a professional setup hears me, they would know how much this line actually hits home, right? So if you have had any such incidences, if you would be willing to share it with others, do let us know in the comments, so that people who have not yet been in such situations may take note of it, and may not have to reinvent the wheel like how I had to do. Okay, so that is business correspondence. So, what is the purpose of business correspondence? That is, what is the purpose of written communication? First and foremost, it is maintaining a proper relationship. It serves as an evidence. See, it serves as an evidence or as a historical record of business activities. It creates and maintains a goodwill, because everything is there in paper. There is a proper process. We are following the process, so there is a goodwill there. It is inexpensive and it is convenient compared to the ill effects of not having it. It is formal communication. It is independent of interpersonal skills. So, as I said, there are different types of business correspondences. So, let us just quickly look at a few types of it. So, business correspondence, generally we can divide it into two types. Okay, short business correspondence and long business correspondence. So, short business correspondence could be the correspondences that happen internally within an organization, externally, that is between organizations, or the organization and the outside world. Outside world could mean the customers, the governments, the media, the society where they are in, the mass. It could be anything. Organization and something outside of it. It could be a sales correspondence like purchase orders, marketing letters, promotional offers, sales reports, new scheme letters, discount offers, invoices, collection letters, letters of order confirmation, all these kind of different kinds of letters. Okay, like inquiry, claims, complaints, applications, approvals, dismissals, recommendations, promises, etc., etc., etc. Okay, then there could be personalized communication, circulars, routine. Routine correspondences, letters, emails, memorandums, or you might be more familiar with the word memo. So, what is a memo? It is like a reminder or a note. It is generally used for communication within the organization only. It is a type of an internal correspondence, you can say. Yeah, so those are the different short correspondences. Then coming to the long business correspondences, they are generally reports and proposals. They are a little bit more longer as in the length itself. Okay, here when we say the short or long, we actually refer to the length of how long that piece of communication is. So it could be reports. Reports could be technical reports, research reports, special reports, periodic or routine reports, informal reports, formal reports. There could be proposals. Proposals are mainly for sales, generating sales. Okay, so those are the different types of business correspondences. So all these types of business correspondences, since technology has come this far, we generally have them printed or in the form of e-documents, or it may also be handwritten, but it should have the company seal and stamp, right? It should be sealed. It should be what you can say, authorized. It will be authorized. It will in some way be associated legally with that organization. Okay, so whatever it is, whatever the type of correspondence, business correspondence you are doing, make sure that the 7 C's of communication are followed. So, coming to the 7 C's of communication, a quick recap. Do you remember what were the 7 C's of communication? We had discussed it in our very first video of MMPC 007. Remember? Okay. So, if you remember, good, great. If you don't remember, take this as a quick recap, because these 7 C's of communication are very important. The 7 C's of communication are clarity, clear message, correctness. It should be timely, exact, and correct. It should be concise. It should be time saving, short, limited, to the point. There should be courtesy. The communication should be positive and unbiased. The message should be concrete, as in it should support facts and figures, and it should be clear. There should be a consideration. There should be a stress on the you approach, the reader. And the message should be complete with all the facts and all information. It should not give rise to any sort of a confusion. So these are the 7 C's of communication. So all these 7 C's of communication should be honored when you are writing a business correspondence. So yeah, the next is the difference between a business report and a business proposal. This is a very important topic. But before we come to this, we need to know a little bit more about business proposals and business reports. Okay. So let us first dig a little bit more deeper into it, and then we will come back to the difference part of it, so that those differences can be recognized easily. So the first concept, let us look at what a report is. What is a report? A report is a formal document, naturally, which significantly or which scientifically describes any new phenomena or any new observation or insight and presents them in a very logical manner in order to deduce some important information out of it. And therefore, you can say that reports play a very crucial role in orienting the decision making of an organization. The findings of a report can create a logical base so that the right decisions can be taken at the right time. So you can say that a report is kind of like, yeah, definitely the first and foremost point is it is a formal document. And what happens is that it creates a logical base for decision making. So what a report usually presents is the facts and figures of whatever is being observed, right? So there are a lot of different types of reports, and we can generally divide it into on the basis of legal formalities, or on the basis of frequency, or on the basis of the type of data that it contains. So you can say based on the type of information, it could be either a technical report or a research report. So what is a technical report? A technical report is a report that is drafted to convey some technical information in a very easy way, so that it is very easy for us to comprehend. Whereas a research report is generally prepared by researchers or statisticians after analyzing information that has been gathered by conducting any organized research, typically in the form of surveys or some other quantitative methods. That is a research report. And then based on the legal formalities, on the basis of these legal formalities or the protocols that are to be followed when writing a report. So let us say protocols. Okay. So based on protocols, you can divide it into informal reports and formal reports. So informal report, as you might have guessed, it does not have any fixed format and it is generally very short. And formal reports, but they are prepared following certain protocols and they have formats and they adhere to those rules and regulations. Okay, so those are formal reports. And then based on the frequency, you can have periodic reports. So they will be drafted per specific frequencies, like there might be daily reports coming in, weekly reports, monthly reports, quarterly, yearly, like that. Or there could be special reports. Special as in they don't have any set frequency. As and when a need arises for a particular report, it gets created. That is, it gets drafted on special requests or needs of the organization. So that is special reports. So these are the different types of reports. And what are the characteristics of a good report? It's not just a good report, but characteristics of a good business correspondence. Again, they should follow the 7 C's, right? There should be clarity, brevity, grammatical accuracy, precision. Only relevant facts to be presented. The facts should be accurate, it should be relevant, useful matters should be included there. The reader orientation should be there, that is the U attitude, right? Objectivity of recommendation, it should be simple and comprehensible. It should be easily understood, right? So all the 7 C's of communication are required characteristics of a good report, or characteristics of any good business correspondence. Okay, be it a proposal or a report or whatever it is, a formal letter, you name it. It should all follow the 7 C's of communication must, right? So when you're trying to prepare a report, first and foremost, identify the source of your information, take proper notes, analyze your data meticulously, prepare an outline, draft the report, rewrite the draft, proofread it, edit it, whatever it needs to be done, and then finally make the final copy, right? And you can either create the report in the form of a letter, in the form of a memo, in the form of a letter and text combination, whatever it is. So depending upon how good, or depending upon the requirement of your report or your target audience or what the content is, based on that you have to decide on the format. Now our MMPC 007 actually has a lot of pages dedicated to showing you the different formats of different types of business correspondence. It is a very good read. Take a look at it. I'm not going into depth of each of those formats in this video, but if you want me to do a video on that, let me know. I'll definitely do a video on that if you need to. But it is actually a pretty simple concept. You can just go through it. It is there for you to have a reference. Some when you are finally in a professional setup and you want some place to go back and check on it, definitely Google is there. Google is a very good source. But if at all Google is not accessible, you definitely have this book, these pages dedicated there for you. Okay, so moving on, let us next look at the concept of a business proposal. So the next is a business proposal. So what is a business proposal? A business proposal is again a formal document that is used in business, but it is normally sent to a prospective client or a prospective customer, that is. And there are different types of business proposals also, and it is made as per the requirement. Like for example, if a client or a customer comes to you and asks you for a business proposal, like for example, if you are some sort of a manufacturing company and they come to you asking hey, I have this problem, I think you have the products, what do you suggest I could use from your arsenal, right? From your inventory, what do you think, which product would suit such a case? We say that it is a solicited proposal, that is client initiated. So such cases, when the client comes to us with a particular requirement, the thing is that proposals are usually made to get sales. Okay, the sole idea behind any type of a business proposal is to get potential customers coming to you, okay, to improve your sales volume. And when it is a solicited business proposal, that is a client initiated one, the work becomes a little bit more easier because the client has already made up their mind. They are considering you as a serious potential candidate to get their problems resolved. So you just need to, you just need to satisfy, or you just need to what you can say, cement that idea that yes, your company can actually solve that particular client's problem, and you get the deal, right? It is much easier compared to an unsolicited business proposal, which is actually the seller initiated. And most often when we talk about business proposal, it is this unsolicited business proposals that we usually talk about, because here we are going to the client or customer with our product, saying that, see, we have this product, it is good in so and so many ways, it has these many advantages, and these are the ways in which our product is much better than the other competitive products in the market. So you should definitely, and I know that you have these needs, or you may get these needs in the future, so why don't you consider us, we can give you good deals on it, such things, right? This is what generally comes to us when we talk about a business proposal or a business salesman doing, right? A representative coming to you and trying to sell their products to you. This is what actually happens. Unsolicited, that is seller initiated proposals. So whether it be solicited or unsolicited, generally a business proposal will definitely have a title page, a table of contents, an executive summary, that is who all are the executives of the company, or your salesman, what is he. That executive summary will be there. Statement of the problem, issue or job at hand, the approach, the methodology, the qualifications, schedules, benchmarks, cost, payment, any legal matters, the benefits, advantages, disadvantages, all those. Okay, so kind of like the seller initiated proposal is the persuasive proposals. Persuasive proposals, that is, they try to persuade the client to take the service, like, and they kind of generally answer questions like, why do we need this product? They give you a complete understanding. We should have a complete understanding of this client. And we generally use this problem agitate solution technique when we are creating business proposals. And there will be solid testimonies, like like for example, take the ad of any educational institution or anything. Like, I don't know whether you've come across, but recently I look at certain YouTube videos, certain ads pop up I like the Iron Lady program, Web and Crafts. Web and Crafts is a reputed IT company. Actually, here in Kerala, they have a office at Korati Info Park. Their ads pop up. So what happens over there in Iron Lady program? Let me tell you. There, there are people. There are ladies over there who have been professional, who are working women. They come and talk about how Iron Lady program has helped them get more promotions, get salary hikes and pay hikes, all those things. These are testimonies. So hearing them, we'll be like, oh, okay, maybe then I should also try. Maybe what if this program can get me also to achieve my goals, career goals, right? Then coming to this web and craft example, we have there are actually features a lot of their own employees who tell how good it is to work over there. So naturally, if it is a job seeker, especially in the IT industry, they'll be like, okay, this company seems to be good. It might add value to my resume. So why don't I go and try and join their company so that I'll also grow like these people? Or there are other platforms, like there is an app called Entry which coaches you for PSC and stuff like that. So over there they tell you how the people there also they have these testimonials, okay, where people come and tell, see, I've been using this app, so I got placed so and so places, all these things. So usually testimonials are included everywhere, so provide such testimonies even in, so all these things are kind of like proposals only. They're all trying to get you to buy their products by showing you people who have had results. Healthify Me, oh my god, how could I forget Healthify Me? Their whole app runs on this, right? Byju's, take any such company which provides a service or a product or whatever it is. This is how they uh, put out their advertisements, right? Advertisements are also kind of like proposals only. They are persuasive proposals only, right? So yeah, coming to this problem agitate solution. This is a very important topic which you must understand, and the best example, or kind of like a solid example which comes to my mind when I think about how to explain this phenomenon to you, is the LIC. We all know that we're going to die one day, right? It is a problem when we die one day. We don't know when that is. It might be the next moment, it might be 50, 60 years later. We never know what's going to happen. Life is unpredictable, right? It is a problem, we never know. So definitely we'll have dependents. God knows whether or not we might be around with them always, right, when they grow up or not. Yeah, so it is a problem, right? So what does LIC do? They just agitate it, right? LIC agents just come and agitate the problem. They tap into into that unknown fear of when you're gonna die, and they just make you feel miserable, right? Like, oh my god, what would happen if I die the next day? I have a son, I have a daughter, I have a mother and father to look after, I have my wife. Oh my god, what will they do? I haven't saved enough for them, right? They agitate it. Now what? They'll provide you a solution. See, sir, we have these insurance. We have this new pension scheme where you just have to pay this much of a premium. But no matter when you die, definitely your descendants or your survivors will get so and so benefit. And even if you don't die after a certain age, you will get this much benefits. And after your death, your children or your wife or your dependents will also be getting. So see the amount of money you'll be making, but see, this is the only amount that you'll have to pay for such a small premium. Look at what services we are giving you. They present you the solution and you fall for it, right? So that is the problem agitate solution technique, and it almost always works because they tap into the negativity, they tap into the fears of whether it be organizations or people. So that is the problem agitate solution technique. Okay, so this is what is business proposals and business reports. So I think now we can go ahead and look at the difference between a business proposal and a business report. Okay, so we have a few elements based on which we will be discussing the differences. The first and foremost is the objective. The objective of a business report is to explore a reason behind any business issue or a problem, whereas for a proposal is to generate sales and target prospective clients. So naturally, the key element of a report would be the findings, the observations, recommendations, all those things. Whereas for a proposal, it will be the products, services, the benefits, the information, the pricing, all such things. Naturally, the purpose of a business report is to address a business issue or explore new insights and information, whereas for a proposal, it is to offer solutions, products, services, and all to address the needs and requirements of prospective clients. So reports are generally internal, though there are external reports like profit and loss reports and all, which gets published, especially if a company is in the stock market. So there are external reports also, but generally vast majority of reports remain internal. But proposals are generally external. So therefore, the scope of a report is very vast, whereas proposals are limited to the sales prospect of things. And reports are shared with all the concerned stakeholders, whether it be employees, people outside the organization, the board of directors, whoever is the stakeholder, the concerned stakeholders are all given a copy of those reports. Whereas proposals are generally targeted to clients or the customers of the organizations, and they are given the proposals. And reports usually plan for the future of how we can tackle this problem or how we can generate more sales, whatever it is. Reports plan for future, whereas proposals are just targeted towards enhancing sales volume. Reports offer you factual and insightful description of the issue. Information is more of a factual, whereas proposals, they don't give you false information. That is not what it is. That is not the difference. But rather, proposals are more like a call to action stuff. It gives you a value proposition. It pushes the clients or its readers to act on the proposal and buy. Right. That is the target of a business proposal. Reports are more of a long-term objective, long-term oriented. It is for the future, whereas proposals are time sensitive. When the product goes out of stock or when the offered period ends, that proposal is no longer usable. That proposal, all proposals have a time expiry date. It is not that you got a proposal and then after a long period of time you go back with that proposal. That product itself will not be available, right? Again, a good example would be LIC policies. The agents come to you saying, sir, this is a very new recent policy, it won't last for much, you better take this before it is gone for good, right? So that is time sensitive. So these are the major important topics of this third block. Okay, so definitely you go and check out the different formats, and if you want me to do a video on that, let me know in the comment section. And if you have come so far, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me. Consider subscribing if you like our content. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll get back on that. And all the best. Study well. And see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.